Here it is, my business card. Now, I mean, a couple corners are ripped. I don't know what that means, but the mice must have gotten at this one. Kyley Styles. Satori Life Music. There's my phone number. The boys. Can't beat this one. This is Satori Life, and I remember giving all the dudes one of these for Christmas. Nice and framed. Turn my mic up louder, I've got to say something. Lightweight stepping aside when we coming. Feel it in your chest, the syllables get pumping. People on the streets, they panic and start running. Words on loose leaf sheet, complete coming. Jump on my mind to summon the rhyme I'm dumping. Healing the blind, I promise to let the sun in. I'm sick of the dark ways we march to the drumming. Jump when they tell us that they want to see jumping. Fuck that, I want to see some fist pumping. With something, take back what's yours and say something that you know they might attack you for. Cause I'm sick of being treated like I have before. Like I'm stupid standing for what I'm standing for. Is this war really just a different brand of war? Does it not cater the rich and abandon poor? Do they think about you in the back of the jet when you can't put gas in your tank? These fuckers are laughing the way to the bank and cashing the check, asking you to have compassion and have some respect for a leader so nervous in an obvious way, stuttering and mumbling for nightly news to replay. The rest of the world watching at the end of the day in their living room laughing like, what did he say? So sure, I'll tell you the story about how Satori turned into Satori Life, and it was because of one man only, and his name was Bill Zulak. I was on vacation. I didn't even know what was going on, but we had this show coming up for Supernova at a little place called the Underground, and it was a battle of the bands, so we had a pretty good shot, but I went on vacation. We couldn't practice. So my boys went down to a little open jam at a place called Jack Dawes, and they found this guy down there, and his name was Bill. And they were like, hey, Bill, you're pretty good. Can we jam? And Bill's like, oh, sure, fellas, because he was just the nicest guy on the planet. So Billy Boy jams with Taylor and Luke on that particular day whilst I am somewhere in the Caribbean. And they find magic that day. It's been told to me that it was like they'd been playing with him for years and years and years. And so when I got back, we had this big show, and I said, let's let him play. So I jammed with him once, and that one jam changed it all, because that was the day that we added the life to Satori Life. We showed up at the Supernova competition. Now, I mean, did we get the best spot of the night? No, because that usually went to the weird teenagers who sold the most tickets to their weird teenage friends. And on this particular night, that band was Hallowed Moon. Tough competition for old Satori Life. Two entirely different vibes. If you just sort of look at the names alone, Hallowed Moon is like werewolves and Halloween. And Satori Life is like beach parties, beach balls, and naked women. So clearly, people were a little more on board with our vibe. They sold like 90 tickets, those poor bastards. We sold like 20, but when Uncle Bill showed up halfway through I'll Wait For You, we saved it for the right time. We saved it to pull out our magic card out of our sleeve, and his name was Uncle Bill. And so we ripped out I'll Wait For You, and I'll never forget the feeling and the crowd enthusiasm that was shown that night to our band. Because we had added an extra piece, we had added the special piece, the missing piece, to really take us from being down here.
Living in Beverly Hills, Beverly Hills, rolling like a celebrity. living in Beverly Hills. And look at all those movie stars, they're all so beautiful and clean. When their housemate scrubs the floors, they get the spaces in between. I wanna live a life like that, I wanna be just like a king. Take my picture by the pool, cause I'm the next big thing in Beverly Hills. That's where I want to be. We're living in Beverly Hills, Beverly Hills, rolling like a celebrity. We're living in Beverly. Wow, 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 wow.
I mean, if you want to know a little bit more about Satori Life, let's take a look. Kyley Topping was born smack dab in the middle of the 1986 Calgary Stampede. He came into this world the fourth of 5 Topping kids, in a household never short of laughs, the biggest blame for his warped sense of humor. He credits his parents for his love of music, his dad being a former guitar player. He played a couple chords, I'm not going to lie to you. His mom being the main reason that him and his sister started playing the accordion. She played a couple of chords, I'm not going to lie to you. After taking lessons for 7 years, he found himself blasting trumpet in junior high. I played a couple of notes, I'm not going to lie to you. And banging percussion in high school. Hit a couple skins, not going to lie to you. After being kicked out of his grade 12 band class for not playing the triangle with enough enthusiasm, and that was a true story, by the way. I was a trumpet player until grade 11, and then the new band teacher came in, and she was a pushover. So I was like, yeah, man, I've been playing drums for years. Let's do this. Got on the drums. All grade 11 was just so much fun. Then grade 12 came along, and then they had this new guy who really whipped the band into shape and made us, like, you know, citywide superstars. But he did not believe that I'd been playing drums for years because I was lying. So what did he do? He punished me. He gave me a triangle and he gave me a little metal stick and he said, "This is you now." And so once every 14 seconds I would go ding. True story. Yeah, I hit a couple of tings, not gonna lie to you. Kyley started recording songs using just a microphone and his brand new drum set and a guitar. During that time, he was also added his keyboard to his resume of musical instruments. His best memory of Satori Life is being surrounded by his closest family and friends on June 23rd, 2007, the night Satori Life was crowned the winners of the $100,000 Star Search. I mean, how could you forget?
Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. Then you saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you.
The Merry Times Tour featuring Satori Life. A Calgary band travels all around Newfoundland. And the reason that that came to be was because of this particular day. This was the Walk for Kids Health Phone 2009. And on this day, WestJet decided to become a great sponsor and gave away a flight to anywhere you wanted to travel. Now, I had some original ideas. Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego. Baby, why don't we go down to Kokomo? Get there fast and take it slow. But, I didn't know if we were going to win. I didn't even know if we were eligible to win the flight. But it was kind of my lucky day. So my old partner was like, hey, you should just enter, because she had like these ideas going through her head, like, we could go to Mexico, a romantic vacation. And I was like, yeah, let me just put it in, and I guess we'll see what happens, right? Well, gosh darn it, if I didn't put my name in that ballot and win a free flight anywhere that I wanted. And did I choose Mexico? No. I chose Newfoundland with the boys because, from that point forward, we decided we were going to travel and spread our music around Canada. That's exactly what we did that day. Thanks to that particular person. I don't know if you really know how much I thank you for that trip. But it was your idea to put my name in the ballot, and then you didn't quite get what you wanted out of it. That's okay, though. I had a great time in old Newfoundland. So that's how this story came to be. Nothing like a buddy pass, but second best, the old Walk for Kids cell phone.
Well, I remember when Saturdays used to be for play, but now I haven't had a weekend off since May. And I remember when it was okay to take my vacay, but now I just do what my dick bosses say. I'm feeling overworked and underpaid. I know I'm overjerked and underlaid. I'm gonna go berserk before I fade away. Well, lately I just feel like real life sucks. I think I'm growing up, what the fuck? Safe inside this rut, I sit here stuck. I think I'm growing up, what the fuck? I get I'm getting older, but I used to feel so much bolder. It's time to raise these lowered shoulders up. I remember when confidence was my best defense, but now the ladies seem to laugh at my expense. And I remember when common sense was the present tense. Hey, am I really dumb enough to feel this dense? My love is under covers over me. I'm still not under others' ovaries. I think even my mother would agree, and my dad makes 3. But lately I just feel like real life sucks. I think I'm growing up, what the fuck? Safe inside this rut, I sit here stuck. I think I'm growing up, what the fuck? Again, I'm getting older, but I used to feel so much bolder. It's time to raise these lowered shoulders up and scream, what the fuck? Ooh, what the fuck? I wish it was the 90s. Can someone please remind me what decade that I'm in? 'Cause I just can't win. Ever since 2010, when I lost all of my friends, I felt a lot less like the man, more like God's simple plan. I'm feeling like a simple plan, and I still listen to them when lately I just feel like real life sucks. I think I'm growing up, what the fuck? Safe inside this rut, I sit here stuck. I think I'm growing up, what the fuck? Again, I'm getting older, but I used to feel so much bolder. It's time to raise these lowered shoulders up and scream, what the fuck?
Coyotes Rocktoberfest. $1,000 Battle of the Bands. Well, about halfway through, like my second song, I was doing the drummer thing, and my contact lens fell out. So for the rest of the night, I was sitting there like this. And, you know, counting up my money after we won, like, is it 300? Is it 400? But I remember this night because we had a little party afterwards, and I had a choice. Boy, did I ever have a choice that night. One of the poor choices that I've made, but, you know, still always worked out in the end. I had one contact lens, right? But there was a party to go to. My glasses were at home. And we had a gig the next day, live at Mother's Music. It was called Slam Jam. And Mike Kaysley was the one who ran this thing. And we were supposed to play in the acoustic guitar room the next morning after winning $1,000 at Coyotes. Well, geez, you know, super hard to get up and play a show in the morning, number one. Number two, it's a little harder to peel your face off someone's couch who's a complete stranger with one eye, then go and drive home to find your glasses so you can go play the show. Well, that's what I did. Did I sleep in one contact lens that night? Yes, because I needed one eye at least to drive home to get my glasses. I looked like I had glaucoma the next day, but the good news is we rocked the show.
Your parents just don't care if you're gay. Hey, if you're having one of those days, just sing oh, 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 oh. Everybody sing
Rock Water Grill. 2 years after the fact. So Rockaganza happened in 2008, and we played at the Rockwater. It was called the Golden Taps, and it was the home of Disaster Man. They were from Golden, BC, so they got to play last that night during Rockaganza. And after the show, I mean, if you thought it was crazy going on tour with Ozzy Osbourne sniffing ants off the sidewalk and Motley Crue, you know, drinking their own puke, try being on tour with Satori Life and Disaster Man and McQuaig and Kaiza when, well, all of a sudden the bagpipes came out at like 4:30 in the morning. I don't know how it happened. I know whose they were because there was only one musician there that played the bagpipes, and it was John McQuaig. So here I am trying to get a little shut-eye, just like I always am. When, what do I hear? Some Irish ditty. And I look out the door, and there is a bag of bagpipes moving down the hallway very, very slowly. Now, I mean, I'm not going to say we woke the whole hotel up that night, but I'm also not going to say that we didn't wake some people up that night. Now me, good little boy, angel, in bed, until I heard the bagpipes. And then what did I do? Well, I got out of bed and sang It's a Long Way to the Top If You Want to Rock and Roll with McQuaig.
Darling, can't you see I'm a broken man with addictive tendencies, and I think I love you, but I don't ever think I can ever learn how to love just right. So run away with me, run as far as your dark brown eyes can see, just as soon as you know that I don't ever think I can ever learn how to love just right. And all the ways that you won't bend are the only ways I live my life. And I'm trying to grow up and burn just right, yeah. And I don't ever think I can ever learn how to love you right.
Live at the Drake. How could I ever forget this night? This was the first night I pulled out my Guitarded t-shirt. One of my favorite shirts of all time. It said Guitarded. And pulled it out on this very night at the Drake. We only ever played there once, but I knew it was going to be as good as it was because my radio career actually kind of started in Canmore, Alberta, at a little place called 106.5 Mountain FM. And right across the street from their radio station was this little place called the Drake. And Fridays and Saturdays, they were just packed. And their live music was awesome. So I made it a goal of mine to make sure I booked a show at the Drake. And it took a couple years because I think this guy was literally hibernating or asleep for like 2 years. But got lucky. One day he got back to me, booked us a weekend. And this was the weekend I learned a thing or two about band accommodations. Now, don't just take whatever they're going to get you. Okay, because sometimes a Mick Jagger room is more like a Jagger room. This was the case during this weekend. It was literally a Jagger room. There was Jaeger bedspread, Jaeger bath towels. There was even a little spot of Jaeger puke on the corner of the floor. I mean, not my finest sleep ever. You know, the thread count on that Jaeger bed wasn't the best. But, I mean, you know, I've had worse.
Light will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones. I will try to fix you.
Revival. Okay, so I think this was the one where we had like this charity for Haiti. And then, like, Haiti saw none of that money. I don't know what happened. I'm going to say that maybe one of our bandmates might have mistakenly taken the money from this show and put it in his pocket. But who am I to blame somebody? This was a good little show, though. Featuring Once Just, Satori Life, King Dylan, Taryn, Bradley Riddles, and the Gnarly Knowalls. Now, a few of these guys have gone on to do amazing things in the local music scene. So, but this is kind of where we all started, in the same place at the same time.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. We've known each other since we were 9 or 10. Together we've climbed hills and trees, learned of love and ABC, skimmed our hearts and skimmed our knees. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky. Now that the spring is in the air, pretty girls are everywhere. When you see them, I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. Got the wine and the song, like the seasons have all gone. Goodbye, Papa, please pray for me. I was the black sheep of the family. You tried to teach me right from wrong. Too much wine and too much song, wonder how I got along.
The Bulldog Battle, the night we got screwed. Now, we don't usually beat 7th Rain in battles of the bands. Okay, they were like just that one thing. They're like the freaking New York Yankees. It's just, no matter what, they would always be there, and they would always take us to school. Except for this night. This was fixed, because we played our asses off. This was the best we've ever played, and I will still contest that to anybody who wants to say that our Vibe 98.5 show was better. No, this one was better. There was a big prize on the line. I think at the end of it, it was like $1 million contract or something like that. And I thought for sure we were going to the next round until that weird guy on the stage said, 7th Rain wins. And I was like, Jesus Christ, when it rains, it pours, because we just couldn't beat those guys. Now, did they have tighter pants than us? Yes. Did they have tighter tunes than us? No. No. I'm still going to say we won that night. And I'm calling shenanigans.
like this two-sided knife that's taken hold of my life. It stabbed, it burns, and it bleeded. Maybe that's all I needed. I struggle just to get loose from this emotional noose. We're cheering here, take your bow. You're gone, it's over now. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Are your nights now getting colder? Does it force you to pull over?